My name is Michael Ehart, and I serve as Program Director for the IT and Cybersecurity programs here at Miller-Motte College Online. I want to start by welcoming all of our students, prospective students, and guests who are joining us today. Whether you're just beginning to explore a future in technology or you're already deep into your program, I'm glad you're here. As a reminder, Kate from Admissions will be live in the chat and can answer any questions you might have for her. In IT and cyber, the landscape changes fast. New tools, new threats, new opportunities. But one thing stays constant. There's a place for you in this field, and there's multiple pathways to get you to where you want to go. My role, and the role of the entire faculty team, is to help you build a clear, achievable roadmap from where you are today to the career you want tomorrow. And the great thing about our programs is you don't have to take that journey in one giant leap. You can build it step by step, earning credentials along the way that immediately strengthen your resume and open new doors. Today, we're going to talk about what those pathways look like, from diploma to associate degree to bachelor's, and how you can use them to accelerate your progress, reduce your course load, and move into the tech workforce with confidence. So thank you for being here. Let's dive into how Miller-Motte College can help you build your tech future. Next slide, please. All right, everyone, let's take a look at one of the most powerful things Miller-Motte College Online offers, your pathway through the world of technology. We've built our IT and cyber programs to work like stepping stones. Each credential you own is valuable on its own, but it also opens the door to the next level. That means you never start over. You stack your success and keep moving forward. Let's walk through it. We start with our PC and Network Support Technician Diploma. This program is perfect if you're new to IT or returning after a break. It gives you the hands-on practical skills employers look for right away. Troubleshooting computers, supporting users, and understanding networks. Many students land their first IT role directly from this program. From there, you can level up into one of our Applied Associate of Science programs, the Cybersecurity Associate of Science or the IT Support Specialist Associate of Science. These programs deepen your skills, introduce real-world labs and scenarios, and prepare you for industry-recognized certifications. This is where many students discover what kind of tech professional they want to become, security-focused, support-focused, or a blend of both. And once you complete your associates, you're already positioned to continue into one of our bachelor pathways. We've got data management, IT management, computer science, cloud computing, or cybersecurity. Each one of those degrees opens the door to higher level roles: analyst, engineer, administrator, manager, architect. And because we design our programs to align with industry needs, you'll be building real marketable skills the entire way. So whether you have a diploma, start with a diploma, jump right into the associate's degree, or already have goals set on a bachelor's, you have a clear, flexible pathway to get there. And the best part, every step you take gives you a credential you can use immediately in the workforce. This is your roadmap. This is how you build your tech future, one milestone at a time. Next slide, please. On this slide, we're highlighting one of the biggest advantages of studying here: stackable pathways and transfer credits. Let's break that down into what that really means for you. When you complete a diploma, many of those courses transfer directly into the Associate of Applied Science degree. That means fewer classes you have to repeat, a lighter class load, and a faster path to graduation. Then when you finish your AAS, the credits continue to stack into the Bachelor of Science program. Again, you're not starting over, you're building upward. This is where the real value comes in. Transfer credits equal reduced course load and faster completion. It saves time, it saves money, and it lets you move into higher level IT or cybersecurity roles more quickly. So from diploma to AAS to Bachelor of Science, you're creating a seamless progression that recognizes the work you've already done and accelerates your journey forward. That's the power of a truly stackable pathway, and it's designed to help you reach your career goals as effectively as possible. Next slide. Now I'd like you to meet our panelists. Our panelists are Karen Boutwell, Hector Molina, and Michael Lycette. And so they'll be talking to you a little bit about their programs and what they do in theirs. So our next panelist is Karen Boutwell.
Thank you, Michael. Next slide. Okay, so as Michael said, my name is Karen Boutwell, and I work in the IT support specialist program. My career kind of really was shaped with two parallel passions, and that was education and technology. And over the course of the past years, I've kind of found a way to bring those together. I started back in IT in 2006, working for a small K-8 school as the director of technology. I had ample opportunity at that point to implement programs, and the first program I put in place was a one-to-one iPad program. And this really gave me a lot of hands-on experience with educational technology from the ground up. That role also taught me how to manage things from infrastructure to budgets to teacher training on new tools and things along those lines. Since 2013, I have worked for the Holderness School as a technology support manager, where I lead our technical support operations and I manage our help desk. About 8 years ago, I decided that I would take the leap into higher education. I started working for Lakes Region Community College here in New Hampshire as teaching courses in computer information systems. And then more recently joined the Miller-Motte team as an online instructor. I went back to school myself in 2019 through 2020 and earned my master's degree in information systems management. And I just like where I'm at right now because I get kind of the best of both worlds. I get to instruct, I get to teach, but I also get those types of experiences in my day-to-day work at Holderness as well. So a fun fact about me, or actually the fun fact, okay. So the most interesting course that I feel as though you as a student may really enjoy would be customer service and help desk concepts. It happens to be one of my favorite courses to teach only because that's what I do every day. So if you naturally like to help people, it really is a rewarding position. It also helps you be able to listen more effectively and solve problems. There's some type of like immediate satisfaction in helping someone who's frustrated or stuck, and you may have already dealt with some of those people in your own experiences, to kind of trying to find a solution and help them feel better about where they're at with technology. You might be able to make someone's day. Those people who struggle with technology daily are really not confident with their skills. You could show them that one thing that could turn that around for them and make them look at technology in a less negative way. And then they're just really valuable professional skills. This helps you to be able to relate to people and not just learn how to be nice. I would say that the toughest course that I happen to teach, or that I find is difficult for some students, would be the technical writing and project management class. This is a course that asks students to kind of think about things in new ways. You have to consider stakeholders, consequences, real world constraints. These types of things for students can feel really unfamiliar because you may not have necessarily had much experience in a professional setting. So students often come into the class thinking that, oh, this is just like another coding class or it's another networking course. But I think that students really discover quickly that it has its own unique way, and it really requires some different strengths. So for some students, that's hard. And for other students, they really grasp it, and they just, kind of take it and go with it. Some tips for success, and I kind of think about this from a programming perspective and from a career perspective. And I wish that somebody would have told me these things along the way. But some of the things that I thought about were practice hands-on as much as possible, right? We work in the IT field. Build a virtual lab, or build a lab in your home. As much experience as you can get with the things you're doing in class, take those into your own environment, and really just play around with things. Break it. Don't be afraid to break it, right? And then figure out how to fix it. Treat every support interaction as an opportunity to build your reputation. It makes me feel good on a regular basis when I have faculty members or students even that seek me out and say, hey, you helped me with this last time and you were really great about letting me drive and like explaining it to me, and I felt comfortable. Can you help me again with this? So your reputation and like how you approach people really goes a long way sometimes. Develop your soft skills along the way, as well as your technical skills. Your technical skills are really important, obviously, in this industry, but learn those soft skills too, right? It's learning how to talk to people, how to relate to them, how to help them get through difficult things or even just easy things. Never stop learning yourself. That's really important. I continue to learn every single day about everything, right? Like dive right in there, like, look at those IT blogs, podcasts, stay curious, because technology changes all the time. Learn to transplant technical jargon, and turn that into something more simple. There's nothing worse than having a conversation with someone, and I can do this with my colleagues, but having a conversation with someone that may not necessarily understand what you're talking about. Try to simplify that, and just make it a little easier for that person to understand. And then the last one I was really thinking about is be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And what I take from that is that there's going to be times where you don't always know the answer, and that's okay. Because in IT and in technology and everything we do, we might have to research it. Everything changes really fast. So it's okay to feel uncomfortable. You can simply say, hey, I don't really know, but I'm going to get back to you with an answer on that. Some of the pathways or potential career paths would be IT support specialists, which are those people that are involved in dealing with technical problems for employees. You could become a help desk technician, which is kind of where I started when I started in this field. It gets your foot in the door, but you're answering calls, working through tickets. And then maybe a field technician. Maybe you like hardware. Maybe you like to take things apart, fix things, put things back together, that kind of stuff. So there's a question here on the slide that says, how confident are you in troubleshooting a computer's issues? Are you confident? Can you Google it? Can you call tech support? So think about that as we kind of continue through our slides. And with that, I will turn it over to Hector.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hector Molina. I am a faculty online instructor here at Miller-Motte College. I've been with the college approaching my 15th year. In total, I have about 30 years of IT experience. Started out long ago in the Marine Corps, spent about 8 years there, and then journeyed into to private industry, working for my first company I worked for is MCI WorldCom, if anybody is familiar with that company. I hold about 17 IT related certs, and really over the last decade or so, really have spent a lot of time just, educating the next IT professionals as they come through. My particular program that I teach is within the cyber related program. And really what I want to share with you is cyber has become central to almost every single industry. Right? I can't think of an industry where cyber does not impact an industry. And at the associates and bachelor's levels, what we do here at Miller-Motte, we train our students really within the program to recognize vulnerabilities, defend systems, and really respond to security incidents. So the coursework really ranges from ethical hacking to cryptography to how do you handle incident response. And so our students graduate ready to step into these roles as security analysts or penetration testers. And the bachelor's degree really prepares them also to be leaders within the field as well. So in our program, really what I would say is the toughest course that I think students experience is our ITM 3510, which is scripting and programming. And really the reason why it's tough is it really stretches students thinking from the very beginning, right? So you're learning how to break down problems logically. You're thinking about how to build algorithms and work through loops and arrays and functions, even down to object-oriented concepts, right? So this is something that students typically aren't familiar with, so it does tend to kind of stretch the way you think. The workload really is what I would consider steady and technical, but it does build a foundation for everything else that you're going to do within cybersecurity. For many of my students, probably the most exciting course that they take within the program is our ITM 3810, and that is the ethical hacking course. So this is where cybersecurity becomes really hands-on and exciting for a lot of the students. You know, you're kind of stepping into this mindset of being a threat agent or an attacker, learning how to gather information, exploit vulnerabilities, or even attempt to bypass defenses. So you'll work through labs and real-world tools, and you work with scanning, malware analysis, packet sniffing, wireless attacks. You'll talk and deal with social engineering, and even look at IoT or Internet of Things vulnerabilities. So it really is meant to be engaging because you can see exactly how threats really unfold and how security professionals have to stop them, right? So together with these courses, what we're really doing is preparing you for a wide range of career paths. So our students often pursue roles such as cybersecurity analysts, again, penetration testers, security operations center specialists, or even information security officers. And really, when you think about it, each of these careers do play a meaningful role in how they protect organizations or even securing critical systems. And when we talk about cybersecurity, it always begins with good personal habits, right? So one thing that I consistently do to protect my own data online is to enable MFA or multi-factor authentication whenever it's available, right? It's that kind of extra layer of verification that makes a tremendous difference between keeping your account secure or not. And so through these experiences, both in the classroom and in our daily digital lives, what we're doing is helping you build that mindset and skill set needed to really thrive in this field. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to Michael Lycette, or actually Michael Ehart. My apologies.
Yeah, it's me again. Hey, and Hector, I got to agree. One of my very favorite courses that I ever took was ethical hacking back in the day. And I'm sure it's gotten more interesting and more complex. So once again, I'm Michael Ehart. I come from a cloud computing background, so this is a good subject for me to talk about. I kind of backed into my IT career. I was working in a store, and they installed computerized cash registers, and I was the only guy not afraid of them. I put it together in about 3 or 4 hours with instructions, and then started getting calls from other stores saying, I've gotten to step 2, and so like through the back door, I became the IT guy for the entire company. I went to work a long time ago for a pioneering cloud computing company back when there were only three of us in the world, and I stayed with that company for until we were purchased by another company. I finished as vice president of security and compliance, and went into teaching. And so after 8 years at another university, I decided I wanted to go to Miller-Motte, and here I am as the program director. So I want to talk to you about cloud computing and the IT management program. The most interesting course. That's a hard question, but many of our students tell us their favorite courses are those hands-on lab-focused ones, especially classes like Cloud Foundations or System Administration. They're the courses where everything comes together. You're not just reading about technology, you're building it, fixing it, and breaking it, seeing how it works in the real world. And that the lab-focused ones really are the ones that students seem to enjoy most. The toughest courses, well, we've got to be honest, every program has one class that makes you earn it. For some students, that's networking. For other students, it's scripting or security operations. Those courses are challenging because they introduce concepts that professionals use every day. But there's good news with this too. The tough courses are where the biggest growth happens. And you're never alone. Our instructors, our tutoring teams, and our resources are here to guide you through it. There's a few things that we've seen that consistently help students succeed. Stay engaged weekly. Short, consistent study sessions beat cramming every time. If you are, and you learn better if you learn in smaller, chewy chunks rather than like a big, hard, last-minute cram session. Use the labs early. Hands-on practice, once again, is where your confidence really develops, and that's where you actually learn how the job is going to go. Ask questions. Your instructors want to hear from you, and not just when you're stuck. They want to know what you're learning, how you're learning. If there's little questions, are just as important as the big ones. And connect with your peers. Use the discussion boards. The discussion boards can make a huge difference. You can learn as much from other students and what they're learning as you can from the material itself. Small habits compound into huge successes. And all of these lead to real opportunities. With these skills, our graduates often move into roles like cloud administrator, managing cloud platforms like AWS or Azure, IT manager, overseeing systems, support teams, and technology planning, or systems engineer, designing and maintaining infrastructure that keeps organizations running. And those aren't just jobs. They're long-term career paths with strong growth, strong demand, and strong earning potential. So with that, let's see. Oh, my question, of course. What do you think drives successful IT teams most? Communication, adaptability, innovation, leadership. I would say that the thing that drives successful IT teams the most is communication. If you're communicating with yourself, with each other, with the customers, with the leadership of your team, you're going to be way more effective. And they found, there's different modalities of management, but the ones that are most successful are the ones that incorporate steady communication between the team members, the customers, the stakeholders, and the team itself. So the next person up, I think, is Michael Lycette.
Hello, everyone. So Michael Lycette. I'm a faculty member here teaching in the cyber and IT roles, primarily focused in like the data management and computer science programs. My background is actually kind of a hodgepodge of things. I like to tell all of my students I'm a 9-year educated bachelor student. Life happened first, but it doesn't mean you still can't achieve it. So that 4-year degree took me a little bit longer, but it's there. And so I built off of a bachelor's degree in information technology. Had some great roles in my early days as a help desk technician and some early on engineering type roles. And then eventually had an opportunity to achieve a master's degree in software engineering. So I kind of cover the bases of my approach with systems engineering by trade, software engineering by education, and it all magically came together in a career that now allows me to focus on cybersecurity and artificial intelligence and machine learning over about the past 5 to 7 years now in spaces that deal with offensive cybersecurity and defensive cybersecurity. So it's been an amazing ride for me to get to where I'm at professionally. And I just love being here to be able to give my own real world experiences to all of you so you can have an opportunity to know that you can do the same thing. Some of the things I need to talk about here, the most interesting course, I would say 2 things. One, from a student perspective, probably the Windows security course. We definitely dive into, actual vulnerabilities, understanding how things are happening, but also seeing things in the real world, being able to show that, hey, this just happened, yesterday. We can actually talk about this. And I'm able to take and dive into those topics a little bit deeper to make sure you can fully understand, how much of an impact you can have once you become a cybersecurity expert or a computer science expert or a data management expert, and do these things in your future career to make everything a lot better and hopefully more secure for everybody. But on the flip side, I love teaching CYS 1120, which is a risk management course in IT and cyber. Only because not only are the skills that I teach in that class useful in cyber, they're actually useful in everyday life as well too. The way you can approach life and use risk management every day is absolutely amazing. Toughest course though, I'm going to say lately I've had the opportunity of teaching a couple terms of the Introduction to Python programming. Python is a great language, and you know what? Learning a computer language is sometimes just as difficult as learning a foreign language for some people, and I totally get it. So it definitely can be challenging, but I can help, and that's where I love to share a tip for success. Ask questions. I love being able to help you be successful in the classroom. So the two main things I always tell people is do not hesitate to ask questions. It's how you can find out more information. It's how you can know what you're doing, how to do it better. And at the same time, one of the biggest tips for success, not just in the classroom, but once you graduate and you get into those future cyber roles, speak factually. The greatest thing about being in the cyber role is the data speaks for itself. Everything is factual. It's either a true or false, a yes or no. So as long as you take that approach and you are in that role in the future where you're educating senior leaders to let them know, hey, these are the real challenges we're facing and this is how we need to fix them, you end up, being factual like that. It builds your credibility. You will just have a successful career all the way around. Now, some of the potential career paths that are listed here that you see, database administrators, huge opportunity. Everything is surrounded and just evolves around data. So DB admins are a great role to be in. Software developers as well, data analysts. And side note, I love all of these roles. I've done all these roles, and I love them because I can be remote as well too. So you get that opportunity to not only be in an office, but you can find careers that will let you travel, let you work remotely, have all kinds of great fun. And then finally, that AI, ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning. Everybody has heard it, ChatGPT, Claude, Sonnet, Google Gemini, Grok, Microsoft Copilot. AI is here. It is not going anywhere. It's just going to continue to grow. So I definitely encourage everybody as you go through your programs, take them on head first and ask questions and learn as much as you can, because you'll become successful and ready to be in that role to support anything for AI and machine learning as well with the courses that we teach. Now, the real world connection, they're the data detectives and code builders, turning raw numbers and ideas into apps, insights, and smarter business decisions. So again, this is where you basically take, and a great way that I like to explain this to people is just like baking a cake. You're taking all these raw ingredients, you're going to pull them all together, and you're going to make magic happen that everybody's going to enjoy. On that note, I'm going to pass it back to Michael.
All right. So let's take a look at the big picture here for the pathway connections, right? The pathway from diploma to AAS to BS, it creates a clear, stackable route to higher IT careers, higher level IT careers, and you don't have to figure it out by yourself. We've designed this progression so you can move forward confidently and efficiently, with each milestone opening the door to more opportunities. And that's how you build your tech future here at Miller-Motte, one stack credential at a time. So let's move to the next slide. And this is our panelist Q&A. So I'm going to throw this out to everybody and let whoever answer it that wants to. The first one is, what skill did you wish you had mastered earlier in your tech career? And how do students start building it now?
I can jump in. I would say for me, the one skill I think if I could have mastered earlier would have been programming, understanding the logic. I kind of dibbled and dabbled in it, but I think it helps as you're troubleshooting, becoming stronger at logical reasoning. As Michael Lycette mentioned, here at Miller-Motte College, we teach our students, Python. Some students absolutely gravitate, love it, and then some students struggle with it. But with the labs that we provide, I think you really do benefit our students in kind of getting the grasp of working through those logic challenges. So I think for me, that's what I wish I would have mastered earlier on in my career.
Yeah, and even just and regardless of what your role is, even if it's not directly creating code, having a little bit of Python and a little bit of PowerShell can make a huge difference in how effective you are as a cybersecurity specialist or a network administrator. Even just replacing a small utility and knowing how to point it to a different server, and having just that little bit of PowerShell can make a huge difference in how effective you are.
Right.
I would definitely say too, I think for me, depending on whether you're working in larger teams or smaller teams, I mean, I've been in positions where I've been the only person, but communication and like how you talk to people, right? Like you pointed that out earlier. Like I feel like I'm a good communicator, but I feel like I could have really developed better skills around that. And that's just kind of like talking to people and practicing those soft skills and then being able to kind of take that and put that into written communication, right? Because our written communication is just as important as, how we talk to one another or how we're communicating to, people and end users and helping them get through difficult things sometimes. Yeah.
I saw a statistic recently, and I'm not sure that what the study was on, but they did say that up to 70% of promotions in IT roles have soft skills as one of the primary criteria for promotion. So getting in the door, it's important to have the technical skills, but if you want to advance, really how you communicate with other people makes a huge difference. So if a student earned just one certification before graduation, which would open the most doors and why?
I'd like to jump in on that one to start with. I would definitely say, especially from everything I've seen and done in the past 25, 30 years, cloud computing is definitely a great foundational cornerstone you can have. If you think AWS and Azure, there's so many different elements when it comes into IT, whether it's, virtual servers, virtual networking, even new things that are coming out with AI instances. There's a lot of growth and opportunity there. So to me, it's a great kind of a foundational type of certification you can get, but that places you in a good position to broaden your horizons and tap into everything.
Yeah, I would say the CompTIA Security Plus is one that I often ask, even for folks that I hire that are asking, okay, what cert should I pursue? That's typically the one I kind of recommend, and I think it opens doors to different types of roles, analyst roles, or SOC positions. I think really any type of entry-level cyber job, if you can get your Security Plus, I think it does signal that you understand the knowledge and the discipline in the field. So that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, I think that goes along with the A+ certification, hardware, software, depending on, if somebody's coming in with an associate's degree and wants to kind of get that entry level certification, CompTIA A+, even the Security Plus, as you mentioned, CompTIA networking as well. Like that's another one that would be good to have, right? Because networking, when we talk about all of the different modalities and things that happen in IT, somewhere behind all of this, there's a network, right? Like it's all kind of put together in some way. So if that is a direction that a student is interested in going, in a career path or whatever, the Network Plus for sure.
Yeah, the A plus is really important if you don't have any experience in IT at all. If your whole experience with a computer is turning it on and Facebook, then it's really good. It's really good to have that, just so you have a basic understanding of the computer. There's also and some of all of these certifications are pretty accessible. The AWS associate certification is, you can learn what's there in a reasonably short time, and it doesn't require a lot of prior IT knowledge to acquire that. So those are great examples. Can you share an example of how an online student got real world practice, maybe through labs, internships, or creative home setups?
Well, I'll jump in there. At least on the cyber, in a lot of our programs, our students are using lab environments for real world kind of hands-on experience. I even had a student decided to go get some older equipment. I think it was end of life at some point. He had found some old laptops and started creating virtual machines where he kind of created and simulated his own environment, his own network, and then he started practicing his ethical hacking techniques that he learned in the 3810 course I mentioned earlier, which I thought was actually pretty cool. But he was a pretty curious student, but I think that's one example that kind of stood out where, once students get exposed to something, it just drives their interest, and he kind of just went all in.
We've had interns. We've had students that are working through associates level programs that have come in and interned with us to get some experience, just with basic help desk stuff, hardware, software types of things. So it's, for students who don't have much accessibility, as they're working through their program, to be able to buy some extra equipment or to set up some virtual labs or some different things like that. Any types of like outreach, finding some, internships that they can kind of come in, maybe even a shadow day where they can go and shadow a member in an IT department. We've had students come in and do that because they have a connection with me at the school. So it's a little bit different, but and they've loved it, and that they're always asking tons of questions and they want to come back. And we've even had our own students do it too. So it's just, experiences like that. If you can kind of shadow a person for the day or come in as an intern, those are great examples and ways to get some experience.
Yeah, and it's important to not wait until you finish the program to be looking for a job. Yep. You can be getting that real life experience, on the job experience through an entry level help desk position or working at a break fix lab or something like that. So
yep.
Yeah. So what tech trend or skill should students start learning now to stay ahead in the next 5 years? I have really strong opinions about this one, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I'll just jump in at least, and I didn't share this in my intro, but I currently serve as a chief operating officer, and when I'm looking for new talent or just talent to hire into the organization, AI is the thing, right? It's really got people's attention, and what I'm looking for is individuals that understand how to find AI-driven threats, whether that's securing those systems, the implications if you don't. And so really having a skilled workforce or individuals that understand that world, I think is going to be really valuable here in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I'll just echo AI. I mean, for the past 2 years, I've been so immersed in that world, rapidly trying to do things for the customers that I support. And the more you can learn, not just prompt engineering as an example, how you actually ask your questions to a chat GPT or another LLM, but even from a data management perspective, some of the stuff you'll learn here in data management and computer science courses, those foundations, how everything is architected, how everything is built upon, those are just great fundamental skills to have. And then just learn and absorb as much as you can on AI from all kinds of sources, because it's changing rapidly. Even today, I was in a meeting and things occurred 3 times. We had changes within an hour, 3 different changes. So definitely AI is where everything's going.
Yep.
Yeah. AI and machine learning. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, 20 years ago, when we were the only cloud computing company most of our clients had ever even heard of, a lot of our clients called us Skynet. I think if we'd had AI then, we would have probably been able to build ourselves a Terminator or two. All right. Well, let's move on to the next slide. I think that's me, isn't it? Oh, live Q&A. Okay, good. Let's take a look in the chat and see what we've got.
There was one in the chat. A student asked, what type of certifications are important for first-time IT techs? And I think that may have been something that we just addressed in that Q&A there. But your A+ certification, I think, is a great place to start. And then if you decide, do you want to go a little bit further, you do your Network Plus certification. There's a bunch of different software, Microsoft certifications as well, just depending. I happen to work in a school, we're all Mac, so we're all Apple products. And there are certainly certifications out there for Apple certified support professionals. And then, of course, the one Hector mentioned, which would be your Security Plus. So
I'd like to answer the Calvin Alexander's first question of several. What percentage of cybersecurity bachelor students move into cloud security roles? That was the entry point for me. I was hired as a security guy for a cloud computing company. I had done a little bit of security work for the previous job that I had, and they decided when they'd gotten up to 10 employees that the 11th needed to have some security knowledge, and I had a CISSP and moved right into that, and eventually, it was not just me; it was a whole team, and it became more and more important. What we thought was important in '98 became vitally important in 2010, 2015. So I would say that the cybersecurity bachelor's is an excellent point to move into pretty much any of the IT roles, because you will have this, because every branch of IT down to database management has a portion of security aspect to it. And so having that as a background for cloud computing and cloud security roles is essential. In fact, if you want to do cloud security, it would probably make more sense to do the cybersecurity program rather than the cloud program. The cloud program is more administration. Wouldn't you agree, Michael?
Yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah, that would be where you want to go.
Yeah, your cyber skills will apply whether you're cloud or on-premises type of equipment, no matter what.
Okay. About the cybersecurity bachelor's course, will I get to learn more about programming languages like C++ or Python? Michael, you want to take that one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I mean, like I said, I'm teaching a Python course right now as well. It's great. It has a great method of starting off with, and by the end of it, you've got a great beginner level set of experience that you can then build on. So yes, those languages are there. And as somebody mentioned earlier, I think Michael, you had mentioned it, scripting, or Hector, you had mentioned it. All the coding stuff, the more you can understand that, even if you don't do it all hands on, the more you can at least understand the basics and the fundamentals, it will help you in your communicating of problem sets and dealing with customers day in and day out.
Here's one that I want to answer. Can bachelor students use employer connections before graduation? Absolutely. I actually have written a book about this. So it's really important before you graduate to start talking to people in the industry. To starting with the company that you work for, because every company's got an IT department. Starting with the company that you work with, but set up little 15-minute appointments with people, first with your connections, and then ask them for referrals to talk to people, not asking for a job, but just asking them questions about what their job looks like and how they go about doing things, and then have them look at your resume, because that's another thing too. That's a way to bulletproof your resume, because if you have people in the industry who are actively working in the industry looking at your resume, they will tell you what things are current and what things are important and what things are not. And if you talk to 25, 30 people in the industry before you graduate, you'll have built yourself a great network of people, and also you'll bulletproof your resume will be bulletproof, and also your interview skills will go up tremendously, because you'll have done these 15-minute interviews with everybody, and with all these different people, and your job search will be just made so much easier.
There's a question. I was going to say, there's a question here from Tracy, and it says, "What is your advice to land an entry-level cybersecurity job? All are looking for experience, and how do you get experience if you can't land an entry-level job?" I don't want to answer for Hector or for Michael or Michael Ehart, but I can say that a lot of students ask this, like, how do I get my foot in the door? Like, you may not necessarily get your foot in the door as a cybersecurity person, but you can get your foot in the door in IT in some way, right? That's at least a place to start, right? Like, get yourself in there, even if you have to, be a help desk support specialist for a couple of years. Then you can kind of, figure out, where do I want to go? What direction, right? Like, so you can head towards that cybersecurity job. But just getting yourself in is kind of the trick, maybe, or the key, because you don't know where that's going to land you, 2 or 3 years in, and you could have you then are going to have the experience, and then you're going to be able to go for that cybersecurity job. I don't know if Hector and Michael agree, beyond that, but jumping in and just getting your foot in the door is really important.
Karen, you're spot on. Actually, the last 2 security professionals that I hired, one came from the help desk and one was a general classroom IT support person, right? They just showed curiosity in cyber, went and did some training themselves, got some schooling, and I hired them. They were internal folks, right? They're just curious.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. I'm going to tell you, like, a dirty little secret of employers here. When they post a job listing, they're asking for their dream employee, and they're never going to get it. Nobody that's applying for an entry-level cybersecurity job, nobody is going to apply for that has 5 years of cybersecurity experience. They're just not. In fact, a lot of the path for cybersecurity, moving from job to job, is almost never applying for random cybersecurity jobs. Once you're in, you usually have lots and lots of lateral moves and moves to a different company in a slightly better position, or even a much bigger position, just because you've made all these connections and people know you, and you'll be at a conference or chatting online, and someone will say, "Hey, you know what? We're looking for an analyst. Do you know anybody?" And you'll say, "Well, yeah, well, I know me." So, but yeah,
I'll add on real quick. Help desk is definitely a great spot. I started on a help desk and asked the question one day, hey, to my boss, I'd like to learn more about this. And next thing I know, one day a week, I was rotated to another department, building my skills, growing my skills, which benefited my role on the help desk as well. So, yeah, it's a great place to begin.
So yeah, great, Mike. That's absolutely, Michael. I mean, that's help desk. But one of the things too, when we were hiring for cybersecurity or cloud computing people back in the late '90s and early 2000s, there were no cloud computing programs. So we hired. I went to the a local community college. And hired people out of there that were graduated with a 2-year degree, but they weren't in cloud computing, and just and then train them to be cloud engineers. We would hire them as help desk people. And from that, they would learn our systems and learn what actually many of them were still not clear at that time of what cloud computing actually was. And so that was the path into cloud, and some of them into the security, the cybersecurity portion of the cloud too. So lots of ways to get in, lots of ways. If we take our certification exams, will we get vouchers for them? Yes. Yes, we offer several vouchers: A+, Net Plus, Security Plus, several vouchers. Yeah.
Yes.
So, have we hit most of these? What kind of skills are required for entry-level IT cybersecurity jobs, and do they require certs? I think we've kind of covered that.
Yeah.
And we covered the hands-on labs. That includes lab. Yes, we have hands-on labs for cloud computing. I think that is pretty much all the questions. So thank you, panelists. This was really fun. If we can go to the next slide, please, I will wrap things up. So back to this, but this is a reminder. The pathway from diplomas to AAS to BS, it creates a clear, stackable route to higher level IT careers, and you don't have to figure it out alone. We've designed this progression so you can move forward confidently and efficiently, with each milestone opening the door to more opportunities. And that's how you build your tech future here at miller-motte, one stacked credential at a time. So I would like to thank everybody. If we can go to that last slide, I'd like to thank everyone for our panelists for participating. I'd like to thank the students who have sat in, the prospective students that have sat in, and I hope you all have a great evening. And if we could move to that last slide, our goodbye slide, we will be done.